Today we're going to talk about why do I keep getting hurt by other people? Simple. You give all of yourself to them, expecting them to do the same thing in return. It's easy to get hurt when you are expecting people to do as you do. When you are, it's like a double-sided mirror, a double-sided glass, right? I know you all seen the cop shows or cop movies, whatever the case may be, and the interrogation room right here, and it's a glass right here, and the people on the other side can see inside, right? But the people inside the interrogation room can't see the other side. So you're essentially just looking at yourself when you're looking at that glass, and that's exactly what it is. The people on the outside, because that's the person you're trying to please. That's the person you want to reciprocate the same energy that you're giving. You're inside the interrogation room, spilling it all, right? You telling how you feel, being vulnerable as possible, expecting them to be the same in return. But when you look at that glass, you're only seeing yourself. You got to remember you're unique. Everybody's not you, and you're not everybody. So you can't keep expecting people to give off the same energy and reciprocate the same information that you're giving them that they're going to give you. That's unfortunately, it's not how the world works. And it brings me to first thing we're going to talk about is patterns. You're so used. You're so used to giving yourself, to giving your all to everybody, and expecting to get hurt. So when you are expecting to get hurt, what's going to happen? You're going to get hurt. Like it's a pattern. Whenever you go through this season, whenever you go through this trialing time, or whenever you have a bad month or a bad week. I don't believe in bad weeks or bad month, but for you, you may still believe in those. So whenever you go through a bad week or a bad month, you go through these patterns where, all right, I'm just going through this now. So let me go be open, right, to the same person that I know is going to hurt me. Right? You just giving so much of yourself to people, right? It's kind of like a parent. Your parents give so much to their kids emotionally, physically, financially, and they get hurt whenever the kids say something that's mean or hurtful because they give so much of themselves to them. That's exactly how you're treating these other people. Now, the moment you realize that the more you give yourself, your energy, your money, your life to Christ or whatever God you worship, then you'll understand He never fails. So when you're dealing with people and you're dealing with relationships or whatever, you're giving yourself to them, but you're understanding that you're not giving everything to them. You're giving everything to God, and God is going to bring the right person to you who understands that your life is you get what I'm saying? So like you're just changing your output. You're not giving the same output to the same situation, the same people, these worldly people. You're not giving it to them. Second, I know usually I put the best for last, but this is this is a good one. The second one is fear of being alone. This goes to our pattern. You get to a point in your life or a point where you're like, all right, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to allow people to hurt me. And how do you do that? How do you understand? How do you break cycles and patterns? You have to get alone to understand the cycle and pattern, and you have to get alone to break it and create your own version of what you really need for yourself. So you have to get alone, but you're not a person who likes to be alone. You like attention. You like somebody right there with you at night. You like somebody to cry on. It's like you need somebody there. Like you can't go through a season where you're dealing with your own situations alone. So you just go back to our first topic, our first one, patterns. You go back to the same person. Or you go back to any person and you're oversharing, you're overexerting yourself, expecting them to do the same thing, but you know they're not going to do the same thing. So that is how you continue to get hurt. But you have a fear of being alone because you will see that it's not them that's the problem, it's you. You will see your own flaws. You will truly see your flaws, right? And you will see that everything that you've been doing or that's been happening to you is caused because of you allowing them people in, right? So you have a fear of being alone. You can't be alone because you don't want to wonder in your thoughts. You don't want to look at yourself in the mirror and understand that you're the problem. So secondly, you have a fear of being alone. Last, this is a pretty good one. Last one is expectations versus the reality. Me, I used to expect so much out of people. And I still do in a sense, right? But I detach from connecting it with my own personal soul. I just want the best for people, period. That's just me. I'm a caring person. And I used to want it in like the relationship. You know, I had a relationship and I expected them to be more than what they were showing, the potential, right? But when somebody show you who they are the first time, 10 times out of 10, that's who they are. So you got to stop ignoring the red flags. Like, there's no need to ignore them anymore. Like, they're showing you who they are. Your expectations is overpowering their reality. Sorry. Your expectations is overpowering your reality of what they're actually giving you, right? Somebody is actually treating you a certain way and not valuing you, nor what you're saying, nor your energy, nor your time, nor your efforts, right? But your expectations for them is so high, you think you can mold them and shape them and guide them into being. You can't do, listen, you can't change nobody unless they want to be changed. You can't fix nobody unless they want to be fixed. There's ways you can indirectly do that, but at the stage in our life right now, you can't. And that's not what you need to focus on. You need to focus on yourself and bettering yourself. And first and foremost, figuring out your patterns. You got to figure out why you are accepting these things from these people, why you are allowing yourself to be hurt, why your expectations are so high and not accepting the reality. Is it something that you saw when you was a child? Is it something that you just always been a person who expect the best of everybody? Right? Like you have to accept that. And you have to understand it. If not, you're going to continue to be living in a fantasy world of expectations over reality. Simple. Going back to one, patterns. You got to figure out the patterns, right? You got to understand what brings you to that point where you are allowing yourself, right? You are allowing yourself to be hurt by other people. Is it because you've always been hurt by other people? Is it because when you tried to do something when you were younger, when you tried to build a relationship with certain people, or a friend, or a significant other, or even with yourself, you got hurt, so you decide, that's my pattern now. I just accept that pain and that effort. Number two is one of the patterns being fear of being alone. Do you just don't like being alone? Are you afraid of your own self? Are you afraid of your own expectations? Right? So it's easy for you to look at somebody else and say, "Hey, man, you're the problem. You keep hurting me." Is that what it is? Right? Lastly, expectations versus reality. You're expecting so much out of these people who don't expect a quarter of what you're expecting out of them in themselves. So you have to align yourself with the right people. How do you do that? Like I said at the beginning, you start by giving all of your effort, all of your energy, all of your love, all of your power, all of your being, and give it to God. And allow him to appoint the right person in your life, not who you want to be in your life. The first thing, patterns. What patterns do we have? Like, right? Why are we accepting people to treat us a certain way? Why do we keep continuing being hurt by other people? Second, is one of the patterns being fear of being alone? Are you fearful for who you really are? Do you not want to truly see yourself? Thirdly, expectations versus reality. You don't have to expect so much out of these people who don't expect nothing out of themselves. Just find somebody who expects so much out of themselves and create their reality.